Okay. Now, Brett, you wrote the letter, right?
Correct.
What is it you hope is going to happen here today?
What I want is for this to be rectified one way or the other.
How are you feeling right now, Michele?
Horrible.
Tell me.
I am very angry. I am very upset. I'm very scared.
But you're not new to this.
No.
In fact, you found a list in his car, which I thought was interesting that you would leave that in your car for her to find, listing 40 women that he's been involved with, 19 of whom he admits have been since he married you.
Yes.
Certainly, there has been a pattern of egregious infidelity in this across a period of 14 years, beginning with the first year you were married, correct? It seems to me that you two have conspired to negotiate a very sick relationship between the two of you. It's not healthy for you and it's not healthy for you. Would you agree?
Yes.
And then we have to sprinkle in the children.
Yes.
Because they're aware of all of this too, correct?
Yes.
Because you've fought about it in front of them, they've heard you talk about it, they know that you have a girlfriend now and that you're probably the father of her child.
Correct.
And in fact, you are the father of her child. Yeah. You know at an intellectual level that what you're doing is wrong for your marriage, it's wrong for your children, it's unhealthy for you, it's unhealthy for the other woman who's also married.
Right.
Is it just a hedonistic thing? It's just you seek pleasure and avoid pain at every turn?
The list of the women from, the affair from the first year, I think that's what it was. But everything's changed in the last 2 years with this is completely different.
You're having an affair with Michele's husband.
Yes.
First question, what gives you the right to lay with another woman's husband, to be intimate with him? What gives you the right to inject yourself into their relationship? And I'm going to ask you the same question in a minute, but you just got here, so I'm asking you first.
Nothing gives me the right. I am ashamed. I'm not proud of it at all. It happens so quickly, and I couldn't stop it.
You say that you talk to him like 3 times a day, have sex 2 or 3 times a week.
That was an average of how things have been in the past. It certainly hasn't been that way recently.
You said that Brad says he still loves you and that only you can make him happy. Does he tell you that?
Yes.
Does he tell you that? Does he tell you that he's in love with you and that
Sure.
he wants to be there with you?
Sure. Yes, he does.
That's not that cut and dry, Dr. Phil. It's not. It's really not. So this is not just I'm telling everybody every time I'm on the phone with anybody I talk to that I love them, and that's not the case at all.
You say you're coming on the show because you want Brad to choose you and leave Michele and get this done.
No, it's not that cut and dry either. It's not.
Well, you know what? I've got in quotes that you wish she would leave so I could have him. I want Brad for myself. I'm in love with him, and I'm not going to go away. And he's cheated on her so many times that I worry that he might cheat with me as well.
There are times that I do wish that, she would be done.
What are you doing getting pregnant with him when you know what's going on?
It was honestly an oops. I mean, we did not, it was an unplanned pregnancy.
There are a lot of things that you can do to just keep that from like, whoops.
I agree.
Tell me what your thoughts were in getting pregnant.
Total
Did
shock.
you do it on purpose?
Oh, totally not, no. No, why would I do that? Why would I bring an innocent child into this already mess?
I don't know, but I know that you seem to me to be an intelligent adult that would be aware of the dangers. Were you having unprotected sex?
I thought we were being careful, but obviously we weren't.
Thought you were being careful. Okay. Do you want to be with him?
Yes, I do.
So you say that you have raw feelings for him that are very strong and you want to be with him. So why haven't you left to be with him?
Because of my children. And my husband. My husband is he's a wonderful man. And I keep trying every day I hope I'll wake up and my feelings for Brad will lessen and I'll be able to put it back together with my husband.
And do you want to stay with him?
I'm not so sure I do anymore.
You need to take an honest look at yourself, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you agree that you just have no apparent self-control?
I do. I really do.
Do you agree that you apparently have no boundaries? No boundaries to your relationship with either person?
I agree with that. In my opinion, we are here because I don't want to hurt either woman, and I love both of them, and all it's doing is dragging everyone through the mud.
I think one thing you have in common is an interest in Brad, and just going over your resume here, if you were applying to be a husband, a boyfriend, and a lover, see, we've had 40 affairs, 19 during the marriage. So many that they have often overlapped.
I had a brief, it wasn't even an affair, it was a sexual encounter after we got married, and then several years went by. Then it began to snowball where, Michele and I have had a lot of problems open with each other for 8 or 9 years.
It started to snowball.
Right.
I mean, I hate it when that happens. What do you mean it started to snowball? Aren't you it?
Absolutely.
You're her sister.
Correct.
What do you think about what she's doing here?
I think it's totally ridiculous. I'm not proud of, what she's done. I don't condone her for what she's done, but I also think that he's the predator, the manipulator, the person that started it all.
So you don't have a very high opinion of
Not
Brad.
whatsoever, no. Dr. Phil, her marriage was fine. We're sisters, we're pretty close, I'm out here with her. Never has she ever said to me that there was any problems in her marriage, never. My friends even thought if you had a definition of a perfect marriage, it was my sister and her husband. And then he, being the person that he is, pounced on, saw maybe a weakness or whatever, and started telling her what obviously she needed to hear at the time. And he knew what to say, and because he's good at it. Like, the list shows he's had a lot of experience, a lot of practice. And he's told her what he wants to hear. And, he's obviously telling Michele what she needs to hear, because they're
Michele,
both buying into it.
So what did you want to say to her? You now know that they are still involved. They were together last night. They admit to having sex as recently as 9 days ago. And she says she fully intends to take your husband, that she does love him, she does want to be with him, and she's here to achieve that today. What do you have to say?
I'm to the point now where, you know what, you can have him. I'll bring his dirty laundry over. You take it. You take it. You take care of him. You take care of him, Leave your husband, leave your kids, leave your house. You want to move into mine? You go right ahead. You have it all. Take it. It won't be very fun. It won't be fun at all. You know that.
Yeah, because he's done it before. He's going to do it again.
Well, he just told me. He told me just the other day that he was having, still battling with temptations. He originally thought that he wouldn't have any temptations if he was with her, that all of that would go away, because she was the perfect one for him. Well, he just admitted the other day that that wasn't the case, and that he was just fooling himself into believing that she was the perfect one and he wouldn't do it again.
You're saying in our interviews with you that you are here because you don't want to lose your husband to this person. Now, you may be changing your mind as you're getting more information. I understand that. And you're saying that you're here because you want him to choose you instead of her. And I'm just wondering, why is it his choice? Why do you have such low self-esteem, such low self-worth, that you've got to be there saying, pick me, instead of don't let the door hit you in the ass, buddy? And you know that. I mean, you know your own resume. You've got to know you are a high-risk, damaged goods sexual addict. Did you say either leave there or you're not going to be in the baby's life?
No, I never put it like that at all.
Is there anything that we have quoted you as saying that you're willing to own?
No, I've never given him an ultimatum. Leave her or not be in the baby's
Okay,
life.
put this in the frame that makes it in
I have
context.
said that if he and I are not going to be together and we're going to try to stay in our marriages, then I would like him to not have visitation with the baby.
Isn't what you just said exactly what I just said?
No, because I never gave him that ultimatum.
What do you want to say to her?
I never meant for this to happen. It wasn't what I intended. And I'm sorry that she's hurt.
I take that with a grain of salt because she's a liar and a manipulator just like he is, so I don't believe anything that comes out of her mouth.
But you intend to spend the rest of your life with her husband, correct?
If it works out that way, like I've said, I'm confused. I don't know. One day I think I want to be with him. The next day I don't.
You're not willing to withdraw from this relationship and leave her husband alone.
No, that's not true. If that's what he wants me to do, and that's what I think is best for myself and my family, then I am willing to do that.
Okay, well, then I'll play. Do you think that's best for your family and your marriage?
I think it's best for my children. I don't know that my husband and I can put things back together and heal.
Did you say, I wish she would leave so I could have him? I want Brad for myself.
I said that sometimes I wish she would leave for herself.
Oh, you just mean it for her.
Herself, and then, of course, sometimes I wish he would leave for me.
Because you know what? Listen, guys, you came here for some help, right? And I'm trying to get you two to at least own where you are. Just be honest. You want her husband. You've said it. I have you on tape saying it. You've said it 100 times. And you tell her last night the affair's not over. You get hysterically upset. You say, all right, I want separate rooms. And you promptly call her and meet her down on the street.
Right.
Come on. And then you say, well, you know, gee, actually, I think that I may need to consider the alternatives here. That's a load of crap. You got separate rooms so you could go meet her. I mean, just based on results, that's what happened. As soon as you got away from her, you went and rendezvoused with her.
Right.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.